Good morning. It is time to get up with decisions. We're live with the Browns as they shuttle Shedeur out of the top spot. What on earth is going on in Cleveland? Meanwhile, you're going to hear one all-time great say that this all-time great is looking all-time great. Are we sleeping on the Steelers? And then, he's going to win another Oscar. If you didn't see Denzel on First Take yesterday talking about the Cowboys, do not miss it in this hour of Get Up, which starts right now. And hold everything, we have breaking news. Within just the last 10 minutes, Adam Schefter, here's the story. Running back James Cook and the Bills have reached agreement on a 4-year, $48 million contract extension that includes $30 million guaranteed. That is the most guaranteed money any running back has received in the past 5 years. The extension comes a day after Cook returned to Bills practice following a 4-day hold-in that included the running back missing Buffalo's first preseason game. So we're here. The squad is ready. Harry Douglas, Louis Riddick, and Peter Schrager. We'll start with you. Anything more on that? James Cook, he's in.
Yeah, and the $30 million guaranteed is big, Greeny. This is more money cash flow-wise than what Saquon got as a free agent, than what Josh Jacobs got as a free agent. But more importantly, it's 4 years, and they add him to a list of Greg Rousseau, Khalil Shakir, Benford, Brad Bernard, and, of course, Josh Allen, all signed extensions this offseason. Buffalo is all in, and they've got all of their guys ready to go.
Which led our coordinating producer, John Fink, to say to me, as soon as this wire came over, he'd look right at me and said, if not now, when? If this isn't the year for Buffalo, when is the year going to come?
Yeah, this is, look, we know it's about getting to at least the big game, at least getting to the Super Bowl. We're not going to say, look, this is the year that they have to win it, even though Buffalo fans would disagree. But the roster is set up. You're right. They have a top 5 offensive line. They have really one of the best running back rooms. When you talk about James Cook and Ray Davis, that is a heck of a 1-2 punch. They fortified this defensive line, drafted more studs there. The secondary has to come through. They have been a turnover machine at producing turnovers, getting interceptions. That's Sean McDermott's specialty. This team is set up. Brandon Beane has done a fantastic job.
Is Buffalo the best team in the AFC?
No, that's still Kansas City, right? And that's the dark cloud that has been over Buffalo 4 times in the playoffs. Listen, I just played in Jim Kelly's golf tournament.
This week,
Up in Buffalo, New York, Batavia. Those fans are ready. They're waiting for that breakthrough.
Yeah.
But this is another step in the right direction when you can sew up your running back. And what James Cook provided for Josh Allen, hey, Josh Allen didn't have to feel like he had to be Superman. So Joe Brady gave him a little crutch to assist him a little bit so he didn't have to feel that way and have all that weight on his shoulders. So I love this move. He's right in the range of Alvin Kamara and also Josh Jacobs from an average year from a salary standpoint. But I love this move.
The thing is, like, they have gotten now, Greeny, they've gotten this roster right in the sweet spot of what Sean had wanted, that being Sean McDermott, the head coach, for a long time now. He never wanted them to be a predominantly pass-heavy offense. He didn't want this to be the Josh Allen show exclusively. And now with the pieces that they have, especially up front in particular, this offensive line is massive and they're nasty. This is a team that can control the clock. They can hit you with the big plays over the top. They're built front to back, as we talk about on this show and others all the time. They're built the right way. The AFC is just absolutely loaded. I mean, it's absolutely loaded. It is just a heavyweight match every single week. You say this is still Kansas City's conference, and I don't disagree with you. But just think of the heavyweights. Just think about the West overall out there. And just in Baltimore, we can't forget about what they have on their roster either. It's a loaded conference.
And this guy is that guy. Like, that AFC Championship game, they lost. He had that run where he stretched the ball across the goal line, basically levitating. And I think everyone in Buffalo said, oh, it's not just the Josh Allen show. We've got James Cook also. He is a star, and he's an emerging one. And, Harry, I find it amazing. Tom Brady's in Saint-Tropez and the south of France. You're in Batavia in the offseason. Hey, lovely. It's good. I like that.
The Buffalo community, they've adopted me.
Okay, you're in.
You jumped off a van onto a table and almost killed yourself.
Literally almost killed
myself. It's a whole other conversation. Okay, so that's our top story, or at least our breaking news this morning. Meanwhile, week 2 of the preseason rapidly approaching. Let's play a game called Show Me Something. For the moment, we're all from Missouri. Peter, if he plays this weekend, what must Caleb Williams show us against the Bills?
He doesn't have to show us anything, but it would be nice to see one sparkle, one play where you're just like, wow, okay, Bears fans are a little nervous from the stuff we're hearing out of camp. I think if he plays, it would be great to see one wow throw, one wrinkle from Ben Johnson. As much as maybe they don't internally need to see it, we would like to see it.
So is it the flashy thing we need to see, or is it the basics we need to see?
I think we expect him to be flashy, but you're right. It's the basics. It's about the operational procedure. It's about getting in it. See, this sounds like football jargon all the time when we say operational procedure, play a clean game, don't turn the ball over, don't hurt your football team. That's what coaches live and die off of. That's what everyone wants to see about this guy. Go back to his pro day when I was out there at USC. Remember, he didn't have any outside the pocket throws. He didn't have any scramble throws. He wanted to operate solely from the pocket. Why? Because he said, point blank, this is what people think I can't do. And I think that right now is what he needs to prove that he can do. Just play a clean game.
So what's strong about that, operation, yes, it's very key and vital. But for Ben Johnson, if he does not play Caleb Williams in preseason game 2, I'm going to think maybe the operation and everything that comes with it isn't as clean in practice.
They're hiding it? They're not ready?
But here's the thing. Why would I put my quarterback out there? He's already going to be crucified and critiqued to the maximum. So if things aren't where I feel like they need to be as a head coach and a play caller, why would I put him out there for a bad showing?
That is the last thing the Chicago Bears fans want to see and or deduce from what you're talking about. Because if that's the case, you're sitting there going, oh boy, you won't put him out there?
Well, that
would be big, right?
If that were the
case,
Monday night game of the season. It is in Chicago, and it is a matchup of 2 of these quarterbacks on that first Monday night. Caleb Williams for the Bears hosting that man, J.J. McCarthy, and the Vikings. So, Lewis, what must J.J. McCarthy show us against the Patriots on Saturday?
Absolutely nothing for me. Absolutely nothing.
You are signed, sealed, and delivered on McCarthy.
This has been a long time going. You know, we sat on the desk together when we talked about how Minnesota moved up to draft him. I think this kid has it all. I think he's got the mental makeup, he's got the personal makeup, he's got the physical skills, the arm strength, and I think he has got a grasp of this offense to the point where you saw it early in that first series, in the first preseason game. The dude is humming right now. He's feeling good. His lower body looks great. His mind space looks great. I just think they need to get him to the regular season and let him continue to ramp up with JJ and crew, that being Justin Jefferson. He's going to be just fine. They are going to be cruising this year.
Perhaps no player is walking into a situation with better weapons on the outside, better coaching staff, better running backs than this guy. However, I would also say there is some pressure on him this season. Would they go 14-3 last year and say, we're better off without Sam Darnold? That's a statement. That is a statement saying, we're putting the franchise on your shoulders and we're completely fine with it. I've heard a lot of he doesn't have to throw the ball 25 times. No, if you're moving on from a guy who led you 14-3 into the playoffs, I would like to see J.J. McCarthy throw the ball. I don't think he's got to do it in the preseason, but I do believe that Monday night game, they're not going to win if he just throws the ball 15 times and just hands the ball off.
So I will say this. They don't have to go 14-3 because it's hard to do that back-to-back seasons. But from a playoff perspective, they didn't win a playoff game last year.
Right.
They didn't win a playoff game the last time they were in the playoffs. So I do believe J.J. McCarthy has the makeup to allow them to have a playoff win and also contend in the NFC as a conference.
See, you know what? People are so hesitant and scared to want to project, right, when it comes to football players. Like, well, I have to see it first. Well, no kidding, we all have to see it. But that's not you. That you don't get the luxury of that in the NFL when you're drafting guys and you're moving up to 10 and you're putting a guy in here after you just let a guy go who had a hell of a season. So for him, when people say, look, I don't think they can, he's never had to throw the ball more than 15, 20 times a game when he was at Michigan. Look, I think you could drop him back 25, 30 times. J.J. McCarthy is wired to do that. He can do, and when they asked him to do it at Michigan, he was just fine at doing it. I think we kind of shortchange people until we see that they actually put pen to paper, so to speak, and we're so reluctant to project. Not me. I am all in on this kid. I think he's going to have a hell of a year.
Let's do one more. Let's talk about someone who put pen to paper last Friday night. Lewis, let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. What does he need to show you when they play the Eagles in a preseason game on Saturday?
The consistency, continuing what he showed in week 1, which was, kind of like, I don't want to say operational mastery, because I'm sure coaches will pick him apart and say, hey, look, there are some things he could have done better. I want to see him continue to push the ball down the field. I want to see I said, look, he needs to make 1 or 2 big
through Cleveland after Friday night, even though we were, and I'm watching it, and you got Chris Rose on the call, and I'm excited hearing the excitement from the Browns broadcast. The Browns who are like, slow down. We have joint practice with the Eagles today. Dylan Gabriel might play Saturday. He's still 4th on the depth chart. So just the reality is it's not a meritocracy. For whatever we want to say that he played great in a preseason game, he hasn't elevated on the depth chart, and I don't think he's starting week 1.
We're going to go live, by the way. Sal Palantonio is covering those joint practices for us, Cleveland and Philadelphia. He'll be live with us to give us some thoughts during this hour. What is your take on Shedeur right now?
I think it'd be a mistake if they do not give Shedeur Sanders first-team reps. I'm not saying you have to put him out there with the first team, but give him that opportunity to prove to everyone, especially the front office, Andrew Berry, the owner, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, that he can operate. And this tells me everything. When you have a player like Shedeur, who's walking into the locker room for his first preseason game, and you see one of his teammates that plays on the defensive side of the ball, coming in with a boom box, basically endorsing Shedeur Sanders, and you see him on the sidelines with Myles Garrett as well, that tells me everything I need to know, Lou.
How about the quote, I believe, that Myles Garrett said, something about the fact that, look, we're going to need you at some point this year.
Yes.
Something along those lines. I'm not quoting him, I'm saying something along those lines. Look, he has that it factor. Players recognize it quicker than anyone. Because a lot of times, look, players just want to play with the best guys. They just want to have the guys out there that are going to help them win. They don't have any agendas. And I'm not saying Cleveland has an agenda, so people, everybody just stay calm here. But he has earned the right to take more reps with the guys who are going to be on the field come Sundays.
I agree.
He has earned that. Maybe not spot number 1 on the depth chart, that's fine. It's cool. We still have more time. But he's earned the right to get more reps. I'm hoping they give it to him.
I don't understand. There's some piece of this that is not making sense to me. Do you know how anyone who's ever flown across country, it takes a lot longer to go one direction than it does the other? Because one way you have tailwinds, the other way you have headwinds. There seems to be some headwinds that are sort of slowing the roll on Shedeur in Cleveland. They seem to be internal. I don't understand it for the life of me. There is nothing better that can happen to an NFL franchise than to find a quarterback in the 5th round. That would be a massive win, and they, for some reason, seem hesitant to be looking for it.
Seems like it, and they're there every day. We're not. We saw it on a Friday against the Panthers, number 2s, and we go nuts, and it's a Friday preseason game. They're there every day. Trust me, they want the best opportunity to win. That's their jobs and their livelihoods on the line, too. And yet, when the depth chart came out on Monday, it's 4, not 1, 2, or 3.
Striggs, let me say this. So, from a receiver standpoint, you want to know what I love from my quarterback? A guy that's cool, calm, and collected in the pocket. I don't want a guy that's sporadic. I want a guy that has super confidence and knows he's that guy when he's calling the play, when he's analyzing the defense, and knows that he can make every single throw.
That's what
I love.
I said this on draft night. The draft spoke loud and clear what those headwinds, well, I shouldn't say what the headwinds are because we never, no one's actually going to really tell you exactly what they are. We can always kind of sit here and dance around the periphery and try to speculate as to why he lasted to the 5th round. But he lasted to the 5th round for a reason. And those reasons are those headwinds that you're talking about. And he's going to have to fight against them. That's the life of being a 5th, 6th, 7th rounder, a guy who's undrafted. And he's passing the test and he's earning more time. Let's just see where ultimately this plays out.
So, am I overreacting?
No.
Darn right I'm overreacting.
Let's go.
And I'm delighted to do it. Coming up, another day, another missed practice for Matthew.